My friends, we are going to go on a journey today. Not just any journey, though. I say we are going on a journey of fast food. TheOdd1sOut Sooubway Chronicles. The saga, the legendary saga. We about to hit it. In the first Odd1sOut video that we looked at Sooubway number 2. Because it's James's most viewed animation, I figured that would be the one to check out. But after watching that, we realized there are 3 more parts. So we're going on the Sooubway saga. And guys, this is such a special occasion, and you guys are liking this series so much that I will put in the extra effort, and we will do it with a theme song.
Sometimes I feel like the odd one out, like no one knows what I'm talking about. So I just go and take a trip to Sooubway. Some things may keep me awake at night. Board games, my awful roommates and life. So I'll recline and go online, and with the odd ones out, I'll laugh a million times.
All right, I hope future me made a good theme song. Work Stories, Sooubway. 88 million views. This video is culturally significant. So let's check out what we've been missing. Are you ready, people? Let's get started.
I think that everyone at some point in their life should work in a fast food or retail job. Not to improve their work ethic or anything, but so that everyone knows what it's like to have that kind of job. They wouldn't work in fast food their whole lives, maybe just like for 6 months, just so they get a feel for it. So with that, let's talk about the time when I worked in fast food. I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway. Our spokesperson was in the news recently.
Oh,
I don't know
bro,
if you guys
you
look
did-
at the news. Did you hear he got beat up in jail?
What? Why are you making this so real right out of the gate? I'm here for happy Subway stories, not this.
I kind of want to meet the person who beat up Jared more than Jared. Not in person. We wouldn't meet in person, obviously. But like, he would be behind bars, and I would just look at the guy who beat up my spokesperson. How many people get to say that they beat up a fast food icon?
Where are the Subway stories, James? Okay, does James have ADHD like me? These tangents are blowing my mind. These are like RobertIDK level tangents. This is like the type of distracted that I get.
How many people get to say that they beat up a fast food icon who is also a only one, and it's that guy. Okay, but seriously guys, working at Subway was probably one of the most easiest jobs out there. I don't know why I'm about to complain about it to you guys. We got free cookies. And you know the comic with the Subways in hell? I was actually working at Subway when I made that comic. I just think it adds sort of a little bit of value to it. You see, the owners, who are husband and wife, can you believe it, of the Subway I worked at owned 2 stores. One of the Subway stores was in a Walmart on an Indian reservation, because we have those in Arizona, and the other Subway was the Subway I worked at. And since the Walmart store was always busy, the owners would spend 99% of their time at that store.
Is this the actual one you worked at? I would love it if it turned out this was the actual one you worked at. Based on the way he drew it in the last one though, I'm gonna say no, because I'm pretty sure he had like the drinks here and then seating area over here. So I don't think this is the one, but that'd be cool. Free cookies, bro. Free! I love the Subway cookies. They remind me of the cookies that my high school cafeteria used to make. I know that sounds like a bad thing for a lot of you, but my high school, for some reason, their cookies were crazy. They were crazy. And it breaks my heart that I will never be able to go back in there to have one of those cookies again. What am I gonna do? Pay a high schooler to buy me cookies from the cafeteria? Like, what? I can never have those cookies again. So Subway's the closest thing. So if they had free cookies, bro, might have to give me a job, you know what I'm saying?
So I didn't really have a boss most of the time. On the off chance the owners did show up, they would just pick up some food and then they would make sure I was making sandwiches the right way. And every time I made a sandwich in front of them, they would always find something wrong with it, without fail. You put on too many olives. Do you know, according to the Subway formula, you're only supposed to put on 8 olives on a foot long? 8! One for every other bite.
Really? That's so interesting. But if you ask for more, they'll give you more. I've never had an issue with that. That's crazy. I always get those jalapenos. Yo, I love that he used a real photo here. It's exactly what mine looks like. I throw on those jalapenos and they always put way too few. And I'm like, bro, I'm a big, tough man. Give me those jalapenos, bro. But they aren't fire breath inducing like Jersey Mike's. Those jalapenos you cannot mess around with.
That's just ridiculous. Can you imagine someone just counting out out 8 olives? Nobody does that. I usually worked the closing shift, and at the end of the night, we would turn the alarm and we have 60 seconds to get out of the store. But one time I had the opening shift, so I unlocked the door to get in with my key, and the alarm went beep.
Oh, but they never told you.
I had 60 seconds to turn it off. No big deal, right? I've turned the alarm on all the time when I was closing. So I go to the little control panel and I type in the code and nothing happens. The beeping is still there and the clock is still ticking down. So I go, okay, I'm going to press each button very carefully. I'm going to make sure each button makes a beep when I press it. Beep, beep. Beep. Nothing still happens.
Oh, no.
So I go, I'm going to make sure to press each button very carefully. And I start thinking, did they change the passcode without telling me? Well, this is the only passcode I know, so we're just going to try it again. And I press each button very carefully.
You're out of time, James. You're out of time.
Beep. Beep.
Is it going to go off?
And it goes quiet. And then the alarm goes off. I still had like 20 seconds left. But I guess when you get it wrong 3 times, it automatically assumes...
Oh my gosh, the stress of that situation. I hate it. I hate alarms. I could never break into a house or a store. Not because I'm just a good person who wouldn't do that, but just the alarms alone is like, nope, I do not like that. Alarms scare me. I'm like a little rat. You play a high-pitched sound and I scram.
But I guess when you get it wrong 3 times, it automatically assumes you're a burglar. So while the alarm is going off, I look on the contact sheet for the owner's cell phone number, I step outside, I call him, and he doesn't pick up. So I go back inside, find the number for the other Subway store. They open an hour before we do. Someone picks up with their stupid voice, "Oh, thank you for calling Subway, I'm blah, 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 blah. How may I help you?" And I go, "Hey, is Mike there?" That's not his real name, guys, don't worry. And they go, just a minute. "Yeah, sure, I have all the time in the world. The cops might be on their way, but take your time." So Mike picks up. "Yellow. Hey, Mike, this is James. What's the passcode for the alarm?" "Who is this?" "It's James. What's the passcode?"
no.
"What are you doing there, James? Why aren't you answering the question?" "I have the opening shift." "Is the alarm going off?" "Yeah, no one told me the new code." "Yeah, we changed it. It's the last 4 digits of your social security number." "Oh, okay, thanks, Mike." "I don't know my social security number." So
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mike. That sounds good. I don't know my social security number. I actually do think I know. I don't think I know the whole thing, but I think I know my last 4 digits. But when you're trying to put out this alarm blaring at you full blast, your brain might forget some stuff. You're in a tough situation.
I don't know my social security number. So I finally get the alarm off. No one showed up, thankfully. Which I actually don't know if that's a good thing or not, now that I say it out loud. We did have a store manager who would like make the schedule and sometimes tell us, "Hey, can you guys do a better job at your job?" But other than that, she was cool. She watches my videos and so do her little brothers. They're big fans.
Aww.
Shout out to Ivan and Andy. Those are the brothers.
Oh, jeez. Do Ivan and Andy even realize how big of a shout out they got? Do they realize how many people are aware of them now? That is crazy. Ivan and Andy are probably more famous than me based on this video. That is how big of a shout out they just got.
So get this, at Subway, you only work with one other person.
Yes.
Just you and them in an empty Subway for 5 hours. I mean, we weren't like empty all the time. Okay. And when you're not making sandwiches, you have other stuff to do, like stocking the chips, or we had stuff to do. But okay, we did watch a lot of Netflix and do homework, so I mean, it was that other person you worked with would make or break your entire shift. It wasn't the annoying customers. I kind of got used to annoying customers. So I worked with a lot of crappy people. And I also worked with a lot of people who I would probably never become friends with except in a work setting. You see, you gotta understand the type of people who got jobs at Subway. Potheads. Most of them are potheads. And some of them are really cool. I'm just going to go over a couple of the characters that I worked with.
Here's the thing. You may think that it's a certain kind of person who works at this place and you are the odd one out. But here's the thing. I think what really is happening is like, it's everyone. Everyone works in these retail jobs. People from all walks of life will work these jobs, but you don't hang out with those people otherwise. You never would see them. So these may just be normal people, but because they're different from you, you view them as
potheads.
A different kind of person. Am I overanalyzing this? All I know is that jobs are where you meet people that you wouldn't normally meet, and that's cool.
There was Tyler. I freaking love this guy. He smoked a lot of He actually taught me what vaping was, and he got me into Clash of Clans. I actually mentioned him and his girlfriend in my riddles video. I don't know if I ever told him that. And of course, I have to mention Corey. He was cool. We watched How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix, and I've also hung out with him outside of work. What him and Tyler had in common is that they would actually do their job, which you gotta appreciate. Then there was this guy. Get this, who was also named Jared. He loved Marvel, and that's like the only thing he would talk about. I can say these things. He doesn't watch my videos.
Okay, no disrespect to Marvel, but he just described a character trait that I understand. When I first started working at High Five a few years ago, at lunch, there was a full table of people just talking about Marvel movies. And it was like, oh my gosh, life has there's so many cool things in life. There's so many things in this world, and every day they talked about Marvel movies, and I'm like, bro, have you ever like gone swimming? That's sick. Have you heard any funny jokes? Are there any animals you like?
Dude, like, oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Like, bro, how can you only talk about Marvel? I don't get it.
Well, Robert, the expanded universe is incredibly deep.
I know, but bro, that can't be your personality.
There was Sarah. She was cool. She made me a bread bowl. And her boyfriend, Jay, he talked about chakras and third eyes. He was interesting. And also, there's Anthony. He's cool. What's up, Anthony? For the 100,000 sprinkles video, I actually went back to Subway to use their scale because I knew they had one. And we counted 500 sprinkles again just to be more accurate for the 100,000. And Anthony helped me count instead of working. I mean, at least he got paid minimum wage for it. So 2 more stories before I go. One time, Jared asked me to take out this pile of trash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put this pile of trash in the dumpster. And as I was taking it out, I saw that there was a chip poster in the pile, and I thought, this is too cool to throw away. I'm gonna keep it. So I took it home with me, and then the next day when I went in, people were saying, oh, where's the chip poster? We can't find the chip poster. We haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm thinking, I have the poster.
That got me. Didn't he say that was in the trash, though? Where was the chip poster?
Jared asked me to take out this pile of trash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put this pile of trash in the dumpster. And as I was taking it out, I saw that there was a chip poster in the...
So it's Jared! Jared threw out the chip poster. It's not your fault, James. But yeah, I don't know why you take the chip poster home, but you do you, James. That's cool.
And I'm thinking, I have the poster. I decided not to tell anyone that I had the poster. And it's still hanging up in my room. Sorry, boss, if you're finding out about this now. Okay, and then the other story, I was working with a manager and we were just making sandwiches like usual. And I noticed that when we toasted a sandwich, it would burn the paper a little on the edges. Ooh. That probably shouldn't be happening. So then a customer asks for just bacon toasted. And the boss lady puts some bacon on paper and then puts it in the toaster. And we don't have a setting for just bacon.
Oh,
so then when she opens the toaster,
way too hot.
There was a fire on the bacon. So then she starts to whack it with the little metal tray thing, but all she ended up doing was fanning the flames.
Yeah, dude, if you put something in the oven that is like small and not meant for that level of heat, if you're heating up one small thing, that thing's gonna get real hot. A little bit hotter than you intended. Perhaps, maybe like a fire, the temperature of fire.
You got this, right? Then I went in the back and I got the fire extinguisher and I actually used it. I single-handedly saved that Subway. Wait, what have I done? Is it okay if the bacon's a little crispy and has nitrogen and carbon dioxide stuff on it? Wow, I didn't even mention a single bad customer experience.
Wow, the beginning of the Sooubway. That was sick. So we already saw part 2 in this video. So if you haven't seen this video, make sure you check it out right after this. But we're going to number 3, baby. I don't think you need to watch these in order or anything. I don't think it's that important. But we are, for the sake of fun. Sooubway part 3. Are you ready, homies? If you gotta go to the bathroom real quick, if you gotta refill your water, now's the time. Now's the time. You got a short, clean break. Okay, you good? Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know something sad? I've earned more money from the 2 Sooubway videos I made about working at Sooubway than I did actually working at Sooubway for over a year.
I literally said that in the last video. Those videos got so many views that you would literally have to work at Subway for like 4 years to get the money that he would have made from that. It's crazy.
So here we go, Sooubway part 3, baby. I still got more to say. I used to work there, in case you didn't know that. When I moved out and was all on my own for college, I was feeling a little lonely and homesick. So one day I decided, hey, I'm gonna get some Sooubway for lunch. Food that I used to almost eat every day and got for free for over a year, I was gonna pay full price for. I just wanted a taste of home. I wasn't expecting to ever tell this story, but it turns out the employee making my sandwich was a huge idiot. As I was waiting in line, I noticed my favorite sandwich, the Turkey Italiano, wasn't on the menu. What? Turkey Italiano, by the way, is the same as the Italian BMT, but instead of ham, you put on turkey.
That looks
Very
good.
simple change. I asked the worker, "Did you guys have the Turkey Italiano?" And he said, "No." So then I asked, "Can I get a BMT, but instead of ham, I have turkey?" And you know what he said to me?
Oh, you cheeky James. I know what you're doing. Yeah, I know what you're doing. Oh, what's he gonna say? What is this dingus gonna say?
And you know what he said to me? He said, "No." What? I don't think I'm asking for too much. At my Sooubway, the BMT and the Turkey Italiano were the same price, okay?
Yeah, just
and what
make
do
it
you
however
mean,
you want.
No, you can't put on turkey. Who's stopping you? I know for a fact that you don't count the slices of turkey at the end of the night. Just hook me up, please. I'm feeling sad. So I just got the BMT with all the vegetables because it's more food for the same amount of money and I was a poor college student. And also because screw that guy. Have fun trying to close that sandwich. But then when he was all done, he put my sandwich by the cash register and then he just started helping the next customer. And they hadn't even started making their sandwich.
Run, James, run. It's your lucky day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't condone that.
Just ring me up so I can leave and then help the next person. But no, I had to wait for him to finish this person's sandwich. If I wasn't so nice, I would have just took the sandwich and walked off. But I didn't. Because I'm so nice. I've realized telling you that story, it sounds like I'm one of those customers who complain about everything and say, "Let me talk to your manager." But really, the whole time I just stood there awkwardly. But I think I can complain a little bit. I used to work at a Sooubway. I know how things are supposed to work. Sooubway, if you're somehow watching this, you need to hire more people. Like me. Speaking of me, when I was working at Sooubway, I never liked wearing my name tag because when I was making people's sandwiches, I hated it when complete strangers would say, "Thanks, James." How did you know? Oh, right, the name tag. So
That's funny. I kind of, when I worked at Best Buy and Staples, I liked wearing my name tag. I feel like if you were at Best Buy or Staples, like you wouldn't be allowed to not wear your name tag. You couldn't get away with that because the relationship you're supposed to build with each customer is so much bigger than as a fast food thing. When you are giving someone fast food, the goal is to make the experience as short as possible. You are not trying to connect with that customer in any way. You're trying to just get your job done and do it right.
Oh, well, that's quite all right, SpongeBob.
Wow.
When you work in sales, like I did, I am supposed to make the customer feel like they're my best friend, and all I want is to give them the best deal on exactly what they need. So if I didn't have my name tag, that's a problem, because how are they gonna know that we are totally real friends? When I try to convince them to get the product service plan, that is almost never necessary unless you had an Xbox 360 in the year 2010 when I was working there. That was the biggest thing I had to try and sell to people was warranties, and it's the worst. It's the worst.
So I never wore my name tag. I just work at Sooubway, okay? We don't need to know each other on a first name basis. Just take your food. For some reason, I don't like it when strangers know my name. But now that's all thrown out the window. This one time a customer came in and for some reason I couldn't help but feel like I'd seen her somewhere before. Her face was so familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I made her sandwich, I rang her up, she paid for it, and as she grabbed her stuff, she said, "Yeah, I'm going up to my father's funeral this weekend. After my mother died, he couldn't last that long." Oh, that's why I remember her.
Wait, why do you remember her? Is she someone who just trauma dumps on you at Subway?
She came in last week telling me the same story. What What are you supposed to say to that? Yeah, that really sucks. I'm just some underpaid sandwich artist with really bad people skills. Did she really not have anyone else to talk to? That just makes it extra sad. I ended up giving her a free cookie. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. Luckily, my coworker Corey heard this.
Then why would you say that? Why would you even say that? Yo, yeah, no, that is sad. I don't want to make fun of this person. That's sad. You need people to talk to. Guys, this is a reminder to check in on any of your friends who you think aren't doing well, because they might not be comfortable reaching out to others for help. So sometimes you need to check in on your homies. I do this all the time. If one of my homies is like a little introverted and it seems like they're going through a hard time and they're doing it in silence, I reach out to them and I'm like, yo, let's talk about this. I got you. You're here. You're not alone. And this woman probably didn't have anyone like that. Sorry, I don't mean to make it serious and sad, but that is really important. Check in on your homies, okay?
Luckily, my coworker Corey heard this and he talked to her and he was very nice. Corey's a lot better at being nice to people. One time I was closing the store, I turned off the open sign and I was opening the front door to bring in a table and chair from outside. But while I was bringing in the table, these two old guys got out of their car and asked, "Are you guys closed?" Yep, is what I would have said if I wasn't so nice. Instead I said, ugh. Fine. Even though it was past 10, I let them order their sandwiches. When they came in, the 16-year-old girl I was working with was not happy.
But that's impossible. It's 10. You know, sometimes you forget that these massive chain restaurants, it's still just like a couple teenagers working in there. It's still human beings. It's not like when 10 o'clock hits, there's a magical barrier that shuts down Sooubway and there's nothing you can do about it. You can still make a sandwich after 10. It's just insane.
They started apologizing for coming in so late. Aww. Oh, I didn't realize places in Arizona close so early. Blah, blah, blah. We're vampires. And I said, it's whatever. Just order your sandwiches. And then he said, can I have 3 salads? And I actually laughed. But he didn't laugh. Oh, you're being serious. I let you in past closing and you want 3 salads? Do you know how many dirty dishes that'll make? As I was making this guy's 3 salads and 16-year-old girl was making the other guy's 2-foot-long sandwiches, a third guy not associated with these two came in. Guess he didn't see the open sign not illuminated. I finished helping the 2 old guys and then I started helping the third guy and he asked, what time do you guys close? 15 minutes ago. But after everything was said and done, the 2 old guys tipped us $5 and the third guy tipped us $1. So I mean, between me and the 16-year-old girl, a $3 tip ain't so bad. I actually heard from one of my old coworkers that the husband and wife owners of my old Sooubway watched my 2 other Sooubway videos. So they might be watching this one, and I just wanted to say that by letting those 3 guys in, I showed initiative and was looking out for customer satisfaction. Yeah. One time I brought a laser pointer into work because I knew I'd be bored, and I was. Except the boy I was working with was shining it outside at the cars driving by, and I told him not to do that because it's probably stupid, illegal, and really dangerous. Later, I was going to go clean the bathrooms. I saw the laser pointer on the counter, and I said, hey, dude,
keep it in your
while
pocket.
I'm cleaning the bathrooms, don't shine the laser pointer at the cars. I told him that. When I was all finished cleaning, though, I saw him sitting by the window just shining the laser at the cars.
In the uniform? That's crazy. This person's crazy. They would do that on their job. They would harass people outside of their job, from their job. That's crazy. This person, like, actually should get fired. I'm not someone who is like, fire that person because they did this one thing. But if they are willing to do something like that, disrespectful, like, yeah, no, you should get fired, bro.
At first, I wanted to go up to him and say, dude, stop. But then the other part of me thought, I'm not this kid's dad. I told him to stop twice and he didn't listen. Whatever happens is his problem. He ended up getting fired. Yeah, a lady came in and said, let me talk to your manager. And I said, I can give you her phone number. And boom, he got fired. I know I'm the one who brought in the laser pointer, but I don't really blame myself for him losing his job. That was a stupid thing for you to do, kid. Once again, I was the good employee. I mean, I didn't show that much initiative that time, though. So before I worked at Sooubway, I like to go to this taco place and get the same thing every time, the carne asada fries. Later, I learned that the carne asada fries are 2,000 calories. That was the only thing I ever got at this taco place. And I used to be super self-conscious, thinking, man, these employees must think I'm so weird coming in getting the same thing over and over. But then when I worked at Sooubway, I learned, Nope. Fast food employees don't care about you or your order. Unless you're mean to them or tell them that you're going to your dad's funeral, fast food employees will not remember you.
I'm still hung up on that 2,000 calories carne asada fries. James, my fellow fast metabolism dude. I know for a lot of people, the thought of like,
What, you can eat 2,000 calorie carne asada fries and not gain weight? Lucky.
I know that sounds awesome, but when you actually want to gain weight because you're super skinny and your metabolism is just hyperdrive, it's not always a good thing. When I got to university and I started bodybuilding, I'm really skinny right now, guys. My illness made me lose some weight. I can't flex. When I got into bodybuilding, I was super skinny, and the only way I could gain weight was on top of my normal meals. I would have to eat like donuts and cookies and just garbage because it was the only way I could eat enough calories to gain weight because my metabolism is crazy.
One time someone came in and told me, I'll have the usual. And I said, I've literally never seen you before in my entire life. I didn't really say that. If any of you are working at a really slow Sooubway, here are some fun games for you to play. Cut up a loaf of bread into small pieces and make a mini sandwich with 1 meat and 3 different vegetables. Give it to your coworker and have them eat it without looking. Then they have to guess what's on the sandwich.
What on
And that's
earth?
it. You can set up a point system, like they get 1 point for every ingredient they get right. Also, you can do the same game by mixing up 2 sodas and have them guess.
What
You can
on
walk into the
earth?
freezer and see how long you can last. My record's an hour. You can bring in some vanilla ice cream and just make all sorts of stuff with that.
Vanilla ice cream? Oh, you bring it into work? You bring in vanilla ice cream to your work? That is crazy. Because you're not telling me Subway has a secret vanilla ice cream that's not on the menu. You are not telling me that. Because I would start getting ice cream on my subs real quick. Especially vanilla, because it's the finest of the flavors.
Oh, he's a freak.
You can make root beer floats. You could take 2 cookies and put ice cream between them and make a cookie ice cream sandwich. 16-year-old girl made this thing. I think it was called the kazuki. You put cookie dough in a bowl and then you cooked it, but not all the way. And then you put ice cream on top of it and it was super good. You can make nachos and bread bowls.
gosh.
And we wasted a lot of food. I still don't know why that guy didn't give me a turkey Italiano. I mean, at my Sooubway, we made bread bowls and nachos.
That is insane. That sounds like heaven. Where was this job when I was trying to gain weight? Cookie ice cream sandwiches? You're kidding me. I would go insane for that. I would go insane. I just spent so long telling you guys how much I love Sooubway cookies and how much I love vanilla ice cream because it's the finest of the flavors.
Oh, he's a freak.
That would change my life. That would change my life forever. I would like never have to make another YouTube video because nothing else could ever satisfy me ever again. Well, anyways, that's number 3. I love these videos so much. These are amazing. If you are digging these as much as I am, please help your brother out. Boop that like button. And if you haven't booped the subscribe button already, that would be so sick, dude. I would love it if you did that, like for real, bro. If you're enjoying this video and you're not subscribed, now is the time. Thank you. And also, please, make sure you're checking out James's work because these videos obviously took so much work and he's so talented. He's awesome. And now it is time for Sooubway 4, the final sandwich. The final sandwich ever, the ultimate sandwich. Is that what we're saying? I'm so excited. He's crying. He's got the little stone right there. Is this video going to emotionally impact me? You promised a lot with this thumbnail, bro. Let's hit it. 3, 2, 1.
Sooubway will always hold a special place in my empty heart, not because I have fond memories working there, but because some of you really liked it when I talked about working there. And I made buckets with those videos compared to what I was making at Sooubway, which was nice. Apparently I was hashtag relatable enough to connect with millions of people, and it took my channel to where it is today. And then less than 2 weeks later, I made a part 2 to that video, and I struck an even bigger chord with people. Who likes the sequel better than the original? People think that I use the word Sooubway in my videos so I wouldn't get sued. This is not true. I wasn't successful enough to get sued. They had other problems to deal with at the time.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh, James, you are reckless with these references. Reckless. That's out of pocket. But yeah, that's what I assumed. I assumed he was saying Sooubway to avoid legal issues. You just thought it was silly? You were just being silly, bro? Okay.
I called it Sooubway for a joke. In my first video, I said, I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway. I was making you think that I worked at an unknown place, and then I subverted your expectations by saying I worked at Sooubway. But now at this point in my career, I am calling my previous place of employment Sooubway because I don't want to get soobed.
Yeah.
The most requests I get for a video is Sooubway Part 4, but I never really considered making another one because I don't work there anymore. I have no new stories to talk about the place. But something happened recently, and I do want to talk about it. You see, the Sooubway I used to work at closed down.
Whoa.
And I am so deeply upset at this news that the only way for me to cope is to make one last video about it.
I thought he was gonna say one last sandwich. I'd be like, that's okay. That's a weird way to do this, but okay. Oh, homie's using Adobe Premiere. He uses Mango too? Yo, this is the color that me and Cameron use for my camera footage in Adobe Premiere. And he keeps it nice and dark too. Sick. I use cerulean for my audio though. Sorry guys, just editors connecting real quick.
So this story happened a couple of years after I quit working at Sooubway. I was behind on a video, so that meant I was in a mentally damaging mindset called crunch mode, and I had been working all day, and I started getting hungry, and I still hadn't taken Floof on a walk, so I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and eat Floof. Just kidding. I decided to take Floof on a walk to my local Sooubway. And before I entered the store, I picked up Floof and held her in my arms, because I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah.
I know taking your dog into a restaurant is tacky and a health code violation, but this is a Sooubway we're talking about. I know how laid back it is here. There are no rules or health codes.
No.
One time when I was working at my Sooubway, this 10-year-old kid came in wearing a swimsuit and literally nothing else. And he was unsupervised. He didn't want a sandwich, all he wanted was a cookie, but this kid wasn't wearing shoes or a shirt. The 2 things you need to get service at a restaurant. So did I tell this shirtless delinquent to get lost? No, he had money, so I did business with him. I don't discriminate against shirtless people. Look, his mom was probably at the grocery store next door, and he just got done with swimming lessons, and he said something like, "Mother, I would be most grateful if you let me consume a pastry with high levels of sugar and simple carbohydrates."
Yeah, he probably said exactly that. Yo, what kind of mother like lets their kid, like if the kid is like super young, like this is looking, like you don't just let him run off to another store. Where do you live? Is this Subway in a gated community? Like be careful, mom, seriously.
And his mom probably said, "Yeah, whatever, nerd. Go get something at Sooubway." So the point of this story is to let you know that I was the kind of employee who, as long as you were willing to pay for your food, didn't care what you were wearing or what health code you were violating. This is a gosh darn Sooubway. So I walk in with Floof, and it's completely empty, by the way. Seems like I'm the only one in this town that even likes Sooubway. And the worker, aka the only other person in the store, said, "Is that a service animal?" Floof's not a service animal, unless the service you want is someone to chew up all your stuff and bark at everyone. But she still emotionally supports me. When I tell her, I'm gonna die alone, she tries to make me feel better by licking the inside of my nose. But I didn't want to lie to this guy about Floof's emotional support status, because if I said yes, and he said prove it, I would be in trouble.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Or do you have to, if you have an emotional support animal, do you have to carry around some sort of certification to prove that? No. But still, the nerve of this Subway employee, would this Subway employee really have the nerve to do that? Like he's just trying to get you in and get you out. I would not want to get into this situation. So, James, you must really not have been very intimidating with Floof with you.
So like the emotionally stable enough to not need a dog person that I am, I said, no. And he said, "She can't be in here. If the health inspector came in, they would fire me on the spot."
Oh no.
Which like, geez, dude, you're gonna let the health inspector treat you like that? Stand up for yourself once in a while. So I said, okay, I'll leave. Yeah, there are other restaurants in walking distance, Sooubway guy. The ramen place lets me order with Floof in my arms all the time. I know this because I've already been there twice this week, and the only reason I'm even getting Sooubway is because I don't want the ramen employees thinking that I'm a weird guy who brings my non-emotional support dog everywhere. You missed out, Sooubway. Do you know who I am? I used to work here.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he probably still stays awake at night thinking about this. I honestly would love to know if he's seen this video. These videos are so big, I feel like 20% of American Subway employees have probably watched these videos. So there's a chance that he's seen this and he saw James draw him the way he looked. It's like, oh, no.
And then the guy called my bluff. He said, wait, we can make it fast. As fast as Jimmy John's? This kid's standing up for himself. I'm proud of him. I knew exactly what to tell him. I want a foot-long ham sandwich on Italian bread with American cheese. I know that's the hardest cheese to pull apart with gloves on, but whatever. He sped run putting on the meat and cheese, and then he asked me, what kind of vegetables? And in my mind, I went, hold on, you didn't ask me if I wanted it toasted. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get this sandwich finished as quickly as possible, so you're not even going to ask me if I want it toasted and hope I forgot.
How do you guys feel about the toasted? I don't like my subs toasted. I don't know why. That doesn't really do it for me. Also, part of the joy of Sooubway is if you get a foot long and only want to have half of it, and then you can put the rest in the fridge. If you toasted your sub, saving half of it, it's not nearly as good. So I like my cold cuts cold.
So you're not even going to ask me if I want it toasted and hope I forgot. Well, it's okay, because I didn't want it toasted, but I'm onto you.
Come on, man.
And then Floof jumped over the counter, peed on the olives, and bit the guy in the jugular. And then licked the inside of his nose. Some people take their job way too seriously. Well, at least some Sooubway workers are more laid back like me. Like this one time not too long ago, I went back to the Sooubway I used to work at, and I didn't recognize any of the people there. But someone did get recognized in that store. Me. One of the workers said, are you the guy that made the cartoon about working here? And I said, yeah. And then I decided to make his job interesting by telling him, hey kid, this is the place. What? This is where it all happened, kid. These floors are the very same floors that I used to mop. You missed a spot over there. And this kid lost all 6 of his olives.
That is crazy, though. How funny is that? How many places, how many just fast food places, stores, whatever, have a thing like this? A cultural moment like these animations to where, like, all the employees know about it. When I worked at Best Buy, there was no, are you the guy that made the video about Best Buy? No, there wasn't anything fun like that. Sooubway, consider yourselves lucky. This literally makes me want some Sooubway. I hope they never gave James any problems because literally, like, this probably sold so many Soobs.
Okay, I don't use my fame to get into places I'm not supposed to. Usually. But this kid was so excited, and I used to work here, so I asked him, can I go in the back? Which is probably breaking a bajillion health code violations, but this kid didn't care. He let me in. It had been 3 years since I had been back there, and literally nothing had changed. I don't know if any of you have ever moved out of your parents' house and then 3 years later you went back to visit and saw your childhood bedroom, but it was that sort of feeling. The chip boxes were still in the same place. Inside the freezer, all the food was pretty much where I left it, and the bulletin board had all the same papers. One of the papers was a list of all the employees with their names and phone numbers, and that list was so old that it still had all of my old coworkers' names and numbers, and it even had my own name and number still on the sheet. It had been crossed out, but I still went, ah! And I punched it out with a pencil. Maybe that's how my phone number got leaked.
That's hilarious. That's crazy. That thing being left up for so long that you can literally go and become a famous person, and then that leaked phone number is still your phone number. That's crazy.
And then I thought, I wonder if the other number is still here. In the very back of the room, there was this desk, and I got down on the gross, unmopped floor, and I scooted underneath the desk, and oh my gosh, it's still here. When I used to work there, one of my coworkers found this store's Wi-Fi password and wrote it down on the bottom side of the desk so then everyone could watch Netflix instead of work. And the employee had no idea it was there, and he typed it into his phone, and it still worked. All right, don't tell people that I told you this.
This is
I said,
crazy.
We can't let anyone know this secret.
The Sooubway Messiah just coming into Sooubway and just being like, son, let me bless you with my knowledge and power. He lets him into the back? I mean, I guess is it that big a deal? I mean, you shouldn't do it. You're not allowed to do that. But I don't know, maybe I'm just such a well-behaved dude that, like, the thought of going back into the employee area in something that I am not an employee of seems crazy to me. Am I crazy? Well, I mean, I guess if I went to Best Buy and it was still the same people and they knew me, but if they didn't know me, you're just letting a stranger in the back. That's so weird. But when you have James, the Sooubway Messiah coming through, it's hard not to make exceptions.
But then the place closed down, so now no one can get in trouble. Anyways, I'm gonna miss that place. It was gross, and I didn't love working there, but in the end, it was the most memorable job I had as a teenager. as it was the only other job that I had. It formed a good work ethic, I made new friends, and I even got to eat free food sometimes. But now I might get sued for this video, so we'll see what happens. So now, every time I walk into Sooubway with my non-service animal, a little part of me will be sad that my old Sooubway is in ruins. Okay, maybe it's not in ruins, but they'll probably turn it into a nail salon or something. Nothing lasts forever, so it's time to give Sooubway a proper burial.
Oh, wow, that is sad. Oh, no way. A proper burial for Sooubway. You can do it, James. I know it's painful. The final sandwich. Oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. I can't do it. The final sandwich. You can do it, James. Yes! Yes! We can't even eat it. Is he really gonna bury this? Is he really about to bury this in the park? Looks like this is the spot. You can do it, James. I know it's sad. I know it's horrible. But only you can lay the Sooubway Chronicles to rest. I know it's agonizing. And if you go to that park, that Sooubway sandwich is still decomposing. I wish I knew how to quit you. Ah! And he puts the camera under there.
Bruh.
Dude, your channel is so big, you couldn't afford like an actual you're just gonna put the stick in there? You couldn't make or buy a better thing for this Sooubway? These videos have made you hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're just gonna give it a stick? James, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed by that. Very emotional tribute. Like if you cry every time. You may make the sandwich, but the sandwich you eat makes who you are. Wow. Albert said that? Whoa, crazy. Okay. Very emotional ending. I'm definitely gonna sit with that one for a while after this filming's done. I am proud of you, James, for creating the iconic saga. And I am proud of us for working our way through this saga and giving it the proper RobertIDK channel treatment. Do we check out more videos from James? I mean, you guys are loving this series, so... And I did make a theme song. So should we do this again? And if so, which videos would you like us to take a look at? And as always, make sure you are subscribed to James because he put the hard work into all these animations. I was just the silly guy saying the silly things. Here's the full Odd Ones Out reaction playlist. If you haven't seen both of the other videos, or if this is the future and you haven't seen the other videos, check them out. Or here's a different video that YouTube thinks you will like. Are they right? I don't know. Thanks for watching, people. I love you guys. Have a good one. Peace.